Welcome to today's chair yoga class. So today we're going to be focusing on the lower body. So thinking feet, ankles, knees and hips. What you're going to need for today's class, if you can find this around the house, is some kind of a ball. Might be a tennis ball, could even be a golf ball, but they're a little bit hard for what we're going to do today. This one is a dog ball that I bought from the local Euro shop, not expensive, nothing fancy, a nice rubber ball that you might throw to your dog to play fetch with. Something like that is perfect. The other thing you're going to need, not so easy always to find around the house at the moment, is some toilet roll, and I shall be explaining what that's for later on. So going back to the ball first, let's take the ball underneath the sole of one of your feet. And sitting up nice and tall, just start to roll that ball along the line of your foot. So along the sole of your foot. You can put a little bit of pressure on as you get used to the sensation. And the sensation is going to be different for everybody. So you might not feel very much. Somebody else might be finding that quite strong, depending on how sensitive and tight the soles of your feet are. So you might give special attention to the instep of your foot. And if you know anything about reflexology, and I really know very little, I have to say, but certain areas of the foot will correspond to certain areas of your body. So like the line of the instep there might correspond to your spine. So where we feel tenderness on the sole of the foot might potentially correspond to a part of the body where maybe we need a little bit more attention or care. So that's just something to think about if you're coming across any tight spots. But all we're going to do here is we're just going to gradually put a little bit more pressure on as you feel able. And if it's quite comfortable and you're enjoying the sensation, you might actually start to kind of knead into the sole of the foot with the ball. So like putting a little bit of pressure on, giving it a little bit of a squeeze, as if you were kind of kneading, bread or something like that, that you're just kind of pressing in with the sole of your foot into that ball and finding any tight areas or any little bits of tenderness and just working around them slowly. You might go right up to the heel of the foot and just push the heel of the foot into the ball. You might have found an area where you want to stay a little bit longer and just explore all of that. So you can stop the video if you want and carry on for a little bit longer. But what I'm going to suggest now is that you just take your foot off the ball and just sit for a moment and maybe close your eyes now and just feel the difference between one foot and the other. You maybe can feel some tingling sensation, maybe just a sense of spaciousness in the sole of that foot and of openness there. Just a little bit more aware of that foot. And what we do as we massage into the sole of the foot, it's like we're lighting up the neural pathways from the brain down to the foot. So this is really useful for helping us to improve our balance and our stability on the soles of the feet if we're standing or walking or climbing. This is a really nice exercise to do. So let's take the ball underneath the other foot, and again you're just going to start to put a little bit of pressure into that. Maybe start to roll from the front of your foot to the back. Don't forget to work into the instep a little bit and just seeing if one foot might feel a little bit more sensitive than the other. Might just be a little bit tighter. Just see how that feels, just maybe taking that pressure a little bit more, maybe starting that kind of gentle kneading motion where you press down, move it all around the sole of the foot, work up into the heel, and all the way to the front where your toes are, the base of your toes. You might even try and kind of grip the ball with your toes, give it a good squeeze with your toes. So just really waking up the whole of the foot. And as I say, getting the brain to connect down to that foot. So move around just a little bit more there. And as I say, if you're doing this in your own time at home, you might want to spend a little bit longer doing this. But for the purposes of the video, let's take the foot off that ball and just sit again, perhaps with your eyes closed, and feel the connection of both feet and the floor beneath you. So have a real sensation of pressing down through the soles of your feet, as much of the feet connecting with the earth beneath you as you possibly can. And we'll take a few moments here just to connect to the breath. You might imagine that you're growing roots down through the soles of your feet, right down into the center of the earth. Really getting grounded there, and at the same time feeling a little bit more weight drop down into your sit bones, feeling the support of the chair and the nice long straightness of your spine, and that rising up through the crown of your head. Relaxing the muscles around your face and your shoulders. Just taking a few breaths. So we're going to then, when you're ready, open your eyes, and we're going to stay with the feet and the ankles for a moment. You might want to move the ball out of the way. And just start to lift the heels away from the floor. So like you're coming onto tiptoes, and really lift up as high as you can. So you're going to feel your calf muscles working, and then take the heels back down. So we're coming up and down a few times. So up as high as you can, drop the heels down, coming up and down. Maybe you get a little bit of momentum going there, a little bit faster, and we'll just go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then release the heels back down to the floor. And you might want to shuffle a little bit to the front edge of your chair here. And we're going to take the legs out in front. So you don't have to have the legs completely straight. You can have a little bit of softness in your knees. But what I want you to do is try and roll onto the outer edges of your feet. Try and press the outer edges of your feet down into the floor, and then try and roll onto the inner edges of your feet. So you'll notice your knees are going to go in and out as well. That's okay, but press like the big toe side of the foot down into the floor, and try and lift the outer edges of your feet, and then go the other way again. Press the outer edges down. So you'll feel this movement in the ankle. You'll also feel a lot of work going on in the feet. Let's just go in and out a couple of times. So we go in and out, in and out. Nice job. In and out, and in and out. One more time, all the way in and all the way out, and then come back to center, and then lift your toes off. Keep your heels on the floor, but pull the toes back towards you as much as you can. Now take the toes out, so little toes down to the floor. So this work comes right up from the hip as well, and then we go in. So you might need to take the feet a little bit wider. So big toes together, and then big toes out wide. Go in and out. We're flexing the feet, so the toes are pulling back towards you. Just go in and out. A couple more times. Nice work. 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, and then you're just going to press the soles of the feet down into the floor. You might walk your legs a little bit straighter here. Really try and press down the whole of the soles of the feet down into the floor. So we're stretching like the front there of the ankle and the front of the foot, the top of the foot. Okay. Bring your legs back in a little bit, so there's a little bit of softness in the knees. Take them a little bit wider apart, and let's see if we can work into the ankles here. What we're going to do is we're going to just slide the big toes towards each other, and then you're going to slide them out wide. So the soles of the feet are sliding across the floor in, sliding out. One more time coming in, one more time coming out. And then the next time that you come in, can you lift the foot off the floor? Go out wide to the side, and then bring the soles of the feet back down to the floor. Let's come in, lift up, go wide, and go down. Let's come in, lift up, go wide, and come down. Nice job. In, up, around, and down. It's like you're saying hi with your feet and down and around. Pause, go the other way. Take the toes out, lift up, come in and down. Try not to take the work from the hips so much, but more from that ankle. Couple more times, slide the feet out wide, lift them up, nice arch with the toes. One more time, go wide up, all the way over and down. Nice job. Take a little rest for a moment. We've got one more thing to do. This next exercise works the muscles of your shins and the front of your ankles. So take the legs out long again, and then pull the toes back away from the floor, and then press the soles of the feet down into the floor. Lift and go down. Lift up, take them down. Lift up and take them down. Now what I want you to try and do is to tap the floor. So try and make a tapping noise. So what we're essentially doing is we're just like flattening the feet into the floor, tapping, tapping, tapping. You've got it. Keep going. Tap the feet down. Tap. We're going to speed up. Tap, tap. You can keep a little bit of bend in your knees, that's okay, but keep tapping, touching the floor. A little bit more noise, can't hear you. Tap. We're going to speed it up. Can you go faster? Faster, faster. Good. Keep going. Now you should be feeling that in the fronts of your shins and the fronts of your ankles. Keep going. We're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Walk the feet in. Just sit with that sensation. Feel that. That's a lot of work. And you might pick up one foot and roll out that ankle, which should feel really nice after all of that work. A few big circles. And then place that back down and over to the other side. And a few, again, nice, big, slow circles. From there, you can relax for a second. We're going to work into the knee. So all we're going to do for this one is lift that leg, push out through the sole of that foot, push your heel forward, rebend. But don't put the foot all the way back down on the floor. Keep it lifted slightly. So straightening, bending, and straightening. That's all we're doing. Knee joint hinges, kick through the heel, bend, push the heel back, kick forward, push back. Nice work. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Other side, lift it up, flex the foot, take the heel forward, bring it back, squeeze it towards the underside of the chair, push it forward, squeeze it back, push it forward, squeeze it back. Nice job. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So just feel that little bit of heat coming into the knees just from those few exercises there. So now we're going to take the feet wider apart. You want to be sitting kind of on the front edge of your chair. And we're going to move into the hip, and we're going to go with the left leg first. So with that leg nice and wide, just roll again onto the inner edge of your foot. So it's like I'm drawing that knee in and pressing it down to the floor. This is internal hip rotation. Then I go back to my starting point, and then I try and roll more onto the outer edge of that foot. So I'm pressing the knee towards the wall on my left, coming in, pressing the knee down to the floor, inner edge of that foot, pressing wide. Do a few more of those. See how that hip feels. Okay, so it might be a little bit cranky, might feel a little bit kind of stiff. That's okay, we just get that moving there. A couple more times. And then we're going to move to the other side. So keep that knee now just stacked nicely over the ankle and move into this leg. And again, roll onto the inner edge of the foot, press the knee down to the floor. And then roll onto the outer edge and push the knee back. Go in and out a few times. How does this hip feel? So most people will have a different sensation in their hips. One side is often a little bit more cranky than the other. So keep going. We'll go in and out now a couple more times. And then come back to your starting point. Walk your feet in maybe a little bit closer to the legs of the chair and sit up nice and tall. So we want to keep these legs really wide apart. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. And what we're going to do here is just going to lift one foot and hover it. But what I want you to try and think about is keeping the trunk of your body very, very stable and steady. So what we don't want to do is lean off to one side to try and lift the leg. We want to stay very stable. So think about your spine being your center, like a plumb line from the crown of your head down to the chair. Sit bones want to stay grounded, so you might be able to feel the bony parts of your bum seated on the chair. We might press the palms together in front of the heart. You might engage your belly muscles a little bit. And then try and stay very centered as you focus on that left leg. And try and just lift and hover the sole of that foot without leaning. Are you leaning? Just check yourself. Bring yourself back. Notice how the brain has to scramble a little bit to find the muscles to lift that leg, and hold it there. Bring that foot back down to the floor. And again, get grounded and centered, and then focus on that right foot lifting and try not to lean to the left. Good. And then place that foot back down again. Now we're going to go back over to the left side, and maybe your brain knows what you're asking for it to do this time, and maybe you can lift that knee a little bit higher and then place that foot back down, and then lift the other knee. So can you bring that a little bit higher and place it down? Nice job. Stay centered. Let's go over to the left side again. Lift and lower, and then over to the right side. Don't let yourself lean to the left. Lift that knee and then lower. One more time each side. Left leg. Can you go higher still? And lower. And then right leg lifts and lower. Okay, brilliant. Walk your feet in. We're going to bring both hands and rest them onto the left knee, and you want to extend your right heel away from you. So straight legs. So you want to be right on the front edge of your chair. Think about lengthening upwards. Think about engaging the belly. We're folding from the hip crease. So you're just going to lean forward with a fairly straight back. Think about your belly coming towards the thigh. Draw these toes, extended leg toes, back towards you and push out through that heel. Take a few breaths there. Use your breath to bring you into the stretch. So your exhale, we might soften. You might come forward a little bit. Keep the toes pulling back. Couple more breaths there. Really nice work. As you're ready, you come and you sit back up again. We draw that leg in and we take this foot forward. So we're working the left leg quite straight. Can bring the hands onto the bent knee or thigh, and again lengthen upwards through the crown of your head. You might want to keep this hand at the hip instead if you want, but just folding forward from that hip crease, belly to thigh. Keep lengthening forward through the crown of your head. Keep drawing those toes towards you and just softening down. When you're ready, start to bring yourself slowly back up again. And this is where our toilet roll comes in. So for this one, you could actually use anything. It could be tin beans, it could be a cup or a beaker, anything like that. But we're just going to place the toilet roll roll beside your left foot. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. You might even want to hold onto the seat of the chair for this one. Or you can just leave your hands on your thighs or on your hips. We're going to pick up the left foot and we're going to go out wide, and we're just going to touch the floor on the other side of the toilet roll, and then we're going to lift it up and we're going to come in and we're going to go down. Easy enough. Up, over over and down. So you might need to look at the toilet roll just to see, make sure that you're not going to knock it over. But once you know how tall it is, try to keep your gaze forward and just go over and back a few times. Once you've got that, which I'm sure you have by now, push that toilet roll out to the side a little bit. Now lift your knee up, go out wide, and then touch the toes down and come back. So we're coming up and in and up and over. Try and do this with as much control as you can. So again, we're not swaying to the side to lift that leg. We're just going very gently, just touching down and coming back. And then once you've had a few goes at that, you might push that wider again. We lift straight up. We take that knee out wide to the side, and we're going to try and touch down and then lift up and come back. So you're going to start to feel that you're getting tired. This is your hip flexor muscles that we're working here. This is why I said you can hold onto the chair, give you a little bit more support. You might push that out one more time, and then you lift straight up, and you're going to go out wider, and you're going to try and touch down and then lift up and come back. 2 more goes at that. Up, out, touch and come back. Last time, knee comes straight up, out wide, touch down and come back. And if that wasn't enough for you, you might go out one more time. Or what you could do in the future, if you want to build up strength in the hip flexor, which we need that strength for climbing upstairs and walking and running and all the things that we do, you might make that higher. You might find yourself a yoga block, or you might find a book and turn it on its side and go higher. I'm going to stay on the low one just for today whilst you get the hang of it. Let's go over to the other side. So bring your toilet roll over to the other side. Keep it quite close into the side of your foot. Sit up tall. Lift that foot. Go over. Touch down. Lift up. Come back and release. Up. Out. Down. Over. Back and release. And again, notice that temptation to want to lean. And we do this a lot. This is our way of compensating for a lack of strength and mobility in the hip. Try not to do that. You might push that a little bit wider. Lift the knee straight up. Take it out. Touch it down. Lift it up. Bring it back. Up. Out. Touch. Back. Nice work. A couple more. You want to keep the back as straight as you can as well as you're doing this. Maybe nudge that off to the side again. Lift, going wider, so we're abducting, touching down, adducting in. You don't need to know, I'm not going to test you, but we're going out wide and down. There's a lot more muscles starting to come into play now to pull that leg out to the side. So you might feel that in your bum muscles and your outer thighs. You might be feeling that a little bit in your core and certainly in that hip. Let's push it out a little bit wider. Lift straight up. Keep the body where it is. Take the leg out, touch down and come back. Nice job. Couple more. Up, out wide, touch down and come back. You'll soon find that you're building strength here. Maybe you've got cramp. That's something that happens when we're using the body in ways that we don't normally use it, so that's good feedback. Take a little breather there. You might want to take the legs out, give the legs a little jiggle around, okay, because that was quite intense. And then we're going to bring our toilet roll again. So pick it up and take a nice length of toilet roll, so like sort of wide arm length. Break it off, and then we're going to put it down on the floor in front of us. So you want to stretch that out away from you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put both feet onto the toilet roll. So the heels are on the toilet roll and the toes are on the toilet roll. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start to scrunch the toilet roll up with the toes and see, can we bring it in towards the body? It's like your feet are eating up that toilet roll. Scrunch it into a little ball and then release it and go long again. Put the feet back onto the toilet roll just so that it stays under the feet, and then use your toes. Scrunch it up. Now if there's a few of you doing this together, you might be having races here. How much fun can you have with a piece of toilet roll? Let's do it a couple more times. So takes a bit of getting the hang of. You want to pin that toilet roll down to the floor, so standing on it with your feet, get your toes in, start to scrunch it up, drawing it in towards you. If you're on carpet, this might be really hard. Once you've got it, release it again. Let's do it one more time. So, standing on the toilet roll, use your toes, like your feet are eating that up, drawing it in towards you as fast as you can, scrunching it up into a little tiny, tight little ball, and then holding it there. 3, 2, 1, and then release. Well done. You can take the toilet roll and you can get rid of that in a moment. And then just give your toes a little wiggle. You might also want to come back up onto your tiptoes and just spread the toes wide and press them down into the floor. You might want to give yourself another little ankle roll or 2. And then just place your feet back down on the floor. Can you feel your feet? I'm sure you can. Might be able to feel your ankles. Feel the heat in, especially the lower legs there. And then just for a moment, let's close the eyes again, sitting up nice and tall. And just feeling into your body. So, as I say, you might be able to feel the circulation and sensations of tingling or even just tiredness in the feet and the toes. We really worked them quite hard there. Feel into your ankles, any sensations there, increased energy through that whole lower body area. Travel your awareness up your shins, and we worked the muscles of the shins, and we don't often think about spending any time or attention working those muscles there. But as we tapped our feet on the floor, really started to feel how much work was going on. Traveling up to your knees now, and you might be able to feel some sensation around your knees. And then up the thighs, the fronts of your thighs and the backs of your thighs, and all the way to those hip joints. Maybe you can feel a little bit of sensation, a little bit of warmth around the hips. And be aware of the weight of your pelvis. Maybe you can let more weight sink down into the sit bones. Feel a little bit more grounded. And from the sit bones, just take your awareness up the length of your spine. Imagine as you travel up your spine, a little bit more space coming between each vertebra. So imagine making yourself taller and longer, maybe reaching up a little bit more through the crown of your head. And at the same time, let the shoulders soften more away from your ears, and just take a moment to also relax your jaws. Relax the skin around your eyes, your forehead. Maybe let a subtle smile wash over your face. Knowing that you've given yourself some important time to check in with your body, to pay attention, especially to our feet and our ankles that really do so much work for us to keep us stable and steady and standing through the day. And perhaps just feeling some gratitude for our legs and our feet that allow us to run maybe and walk, perhaps dance, and to stand. They transport us from one place to the other, carry us upstairs. Just gratitude for all of the effort and work that our feet and our legs do for us from day to day. Gratitude for our whole body. And maybe then bringing the hands together in prayer position in front of your heart. And gratitude to yourself for giving yourself this time. And gratitude from me to you for practicing with me again today. And you might want to just let the head release down towards the hands. Namaste. And thank you.